gonna try my best. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a family up here, and we lost a big part of our family a couple months ago. Please forgive me if I'm reading this, because I don't think I can do it if I didn't read it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out tonight. On behalf of the band, I wanted to take a little time to share with you some memories of our fallen band member. Our friend, our brother, Lee Deedmeyer. Lee was born and raised in Freehold and truly loved being a part of this town. I met Lee in high school at a high school dance. I was a junior at Freehold Township High School, and Lee's band at the time was called Last Chance, was playing at that dance. I was 17 and Lee was 19 years old. He just graduated from St. John Vianney. At the end of their set, I went up to Lee to tell him how I thought the band was great. I gave him my telephone number and said, hey, if you ever need a bass player, give me a call. Several months later, Lee gave me a call. His band broke up, and he asked me if I wanted to get together and jam. We met in his parents' basement, 2 blocks from here on Broadway, just down the street from here. We got together, we jammed, and we started a band called Bystander. That was in 1976. My wife told me not to put dates in here, but I'm going to put it in anyway. She proofread this for me. She proofreads everything. Lee's parents lent us some money to buy our first sound system, and my parents let us take over the garage at Plymouth Drive in Freehold Township. We practiced and practiced and practiced like crazy. Bystander went on to become an extremely successful Jersey Shore, tri-state area rock and roll band. We had become a full-time working musicians, and we never looked back. Lee and I parted ways in the 80s, but then we got together in 1990 and formed a new band with Jeff over here. We built the band with the goal of being as diverse as possible and to keep the dance floor pumping. We created a fun machine called Mission Dance. We were full-time working musicians able to support our families. We never had real jobs. Lee's life was all about entertaining, and he loved every minute of it. If the band had an afternoon off, Lee would be doing an acoustic gig down at the shore. Then at 6 o'clock, he'd take off his Hawaiian shirt and put on his tuxedo and arrive at a private party. He'd sing and play anything from Ahura to Broadway music, show tunes, Led Zeppelin, and of course, Springsteen. For the last 32 years, Jeff and I have been his wingman. Well, he worked his hardest out front to make people happy. He was Paul Anka, Don Pardo, and Sammy Hagar, all wrapped up in one. It was all real, too. Lee would make friends with many of our clients and keep lasting connections. Lee was full of compassion and empathy for others, always ready to have the band send a tray of food to someone in need or a family who suffered a loss. There was a girl named Sue who followed our band around for decades. The first level of her house was destroyed by Hurricane Sandy. He got the band together, we got a truck, a trailer, and we helped her empty out the destroyed contents of her home. Every year he performed at the Walk for Joe Day, donating his time to honor the passengers who heroically gave their lives on 9/11. My wife and I and our families would go to the John Montgomery Nursing Home on Christmas morning, and then it turned into a Lair Nursing Home with carolers, and we'd sing Christmas carols to the patients there, and it wasn't sounding very musical, and I called Lee, and I said, Lee, can you help us make this musical? And without any hesitation, him and Tara showed up on Christmas morning with his acoustic guitar, and we did the best we could for the patients on Dutch Lane Road at the Alair Nursing Home. One of the things Lee loved the most outside of music was gardening. there are probably many people here tonight who have received some of Lee's homegrown vegetables. Please raise your hand. I always love coming over the house because I left with some good tomatoes. The list goes on and on of Lee's charitable soul. Over the last 10 years, Lee had experienced several health struggles. Never once did he complain or say, "Why me?" He took the cards he was dealt, and he did what he needed to do to get through it. Lee was a very unique individual. Mission Dance was lucky enough to perform at all 3 of his daughter's weddings. We backed him up while he sang to his girls as they danced their father-daughter dance. Our band has become a musical family. When we have dinner breaks on jobs, the break is always filled with sharing videos and thoughts and stories about our kids and our loved ones. The biggest part of Lee's life was his own family. Lee was a great son and brother. Dina, you're here, Dina. He was married to his high school sweetheart, Tara. 42 years, Tara? Yes, Tara, please stand up. This woman made it possible for me to do what he loved to do. Tara, thank you for supporting, sacrificing, and loving Lee. You brought him the biggest joys of his life, his family. Your daughters, Brianna, Lindsay, and Whitney. Your son-in-laws, Bart, Chris, and Will. Grandkids, Kieran, Charlie, Connor, Liam, Cassie, Katrina, and Maverick. Lee and I talked several times on most days. The conversations became less about business and more about family as the years went on. His happiest times were the family days. He lived this dream of sharing cheer through music and you helped him make it possible. Lee is buried in his hometown next to his parents and grandparents. On the day of his funeral, we all gathered at the gravesite. Nolan Higgins said a few words, and then the most fitting thing happened. The song "Take It Easy" by Lee's favorite band, the Eagles, began to play, and everyone joined in to sing. Lee is up there in rock and roll heaven right now. He's sitting in between James Brown, the hardest working man in show business, and on the other side is Glenn Frey from the Eagles. Lee, my friend, we will jam again someday. Please, everybody, join in with us singing "Take It Easy." Our singers are gonna just help you guys with this, so please take the lead.